I'm Pastor Alan Jackson. We've had the privilege of partnering with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. It was an honor to stand with them. All of us are grieving Charlie's absence, but here's the reality. We have an assignment. We're not stopping. We're going to continue forward with what Charlie invested his life in. Now it's our turn to lead with faith. We're going to make an impact in this generation for the kingdom of God. We have some resources for you. You can go to alanjackson.com/Charlie. Together, we're going to make a difference in this generation.
Blake, you're Catholic. Mm-hmm. Michael's Catholic. I'm not. I'm gonna let you guys take this one.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking we thought it's been about 6 months since we got Pope Leo, the first American Pope, and I feel overall we don't hear as much about that as I would have initially thought. I would have thought that there would be a lot more attention on him, and yet it seems, if anything, he's less famous than Pope Francis, even in the United States. Mm-hmm. He has popped up a few times. He's certainly said stuff we find annoying on some of the immigration issues. He's occasionally had some friction with Vice President Vance, of course, since the Vice President is Catholic as well. But yeah, I guess I would throw that to you, Michael. How do you evaluate the Pope at about 6 months, and what's his relationship with American Catholics who are mostly on the right politically on immigration and a lot of issues?
I was thrilled when I heard the name that he picked. He picked Leo. I was pulling for Leo. I actually predicted it right before they picked it. And I didn't know anything about the guy, but I really liked the name. I thought it was a good sign. Pope Leo the 13th, Pope Leo the Great. This is good stuff. And I think he's lived up to a lot of our hopes. Obviously, there's always something to complain about. I love the traditional Latin Mass. I wish the bishops would stop suppressing the Latin Mass. I hope that happens. But compared to the last pontificate, I think a lot of people are breathing not just a sigh of relief, but a sigh of joy. And then, I don't know if you guys caught it, over just a few days ago, the Pope was in Constantinople leading the Eastern Orthodox in the Our Father in Latin, praying for full communion for all baptized Christians, wanting to heal the East and the West, bring everybody back together. He toured a mosque, refused to pray in the mosque, unlike some other popes.
John Paul II
feel
prayed
completely
in a mosque,
vindicated.
I think John Paul II even prayed in a mosque.
Right,
he was the first one to do so, and
that's weird.
I have to imagine Francis probably would have also prayed in. I think they were in the Blue Mosque.
What's the deal with this ice ball? What was this about?
The ice ball. People made a big deal about it. I agree. It's kind of silly for people to focus on climate change or whatever. Now, I will point out, there's nothing unusual about a priest blessing water. We call it holy water. It's no, but I think also what happens here. Yeah. A lot of these events were booked before Pope Francis died. I don't know whether that was true of the global warming thing, but a lot of them are. There was even a papal encyclical that's come out because the Francis had started it, and then he died, and Leo finished it. So some of this stuff is a little bit of a holdover from the Francis pontificate. And obviously, there are plenty of things to rankle American political conservatives, in some of the ways that the Pope has spoken about immigration. But I'll also point out, the Pope came out and he said, on immigration, nations are allowed to have borders. No one says that nations can't decide who comes in and out. You just got to be nice to people, basically. And so I think for people who want to have a problem, including especially traditional conservative American Catholics, they're always going to find something to have a problem with. But broadly speaking, I think that the Pope Leo respecters, defenders, hopers have been quite vindicated so far, which is good because Pope Leo could be Pope for like 20 years.
Blake, are you satisfied with that answer?
We'll see. It's very interesting because I got so used to, especially with Francis or Benedict, you'd always have that translation barrier where the Pope would say something and you'd have to say, oh, well, the Pope, he really meant this and it didn't translate great. And now we just have a Pope who is a native English speaker and just commenting in English on things.
Listen.
And we actually still get that, where they still say, oh, well, the Pope actually, if you know the historical context behind this.
I take a very ecumenical view of these things, as you know, Michael. I, as a cradle Catholic who ended up finding faith in college through a Protestant tradition, I love all Christians. I'm pro-Christian, pro-Catholic, and I want the Catholic Church to be healthy and vibrant. So God bless you, Michael Knowles.
Andrew, I don't know if I ever told you this. It was some Protestants who helped bring me back, too.
Well, we'll see what happens.